This will help us understand, are they growing, are people using this, and do they like the product? We're going to hit confirm buy, and it filled. These orders are instant, and we're up close to 500%. Let's trade to get paid. Now, if we remember the Hyperliquid airdrop, it did really well. People were making tens of thousands of dollars, $70,000, over $100,000, and even in the millions of dollars. Now that's because they did a lot of revenue. It's a good product. People like using it. People still continue using it today, and that's what I see with Paradex. Now, Paradex is a decentralized platform that allows you to trade futures and options and more in the near future. We'll take a look at the roadmap a little later, but even by the numbers, you can see $250 million in the last 24-hour volume, futures, options, open interest, TVL. There is a lot of opportunity when there's a good product and revenue being generated. So with that, we're going to look at Paradex. We're going to look at what they're building, how the platform works, how to get started, and more. I'm Dan, and let's dive in. First, let's just admire the Bitcoin chart, just continuing to go up, and then what we can do on Paradex. So you can see we have options for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Hyperliquid. We can set calls or puts. We also have futures, and this can be sorted from layer 1, layer 2, DeFi, AI, memes, trending, losers, gainers, and new listings. And if we take a look at the roadmap, we can see that they plan on supporting spot trading, spot vault traded funds, multiple collateral types, auto borrow, XUSD, yield bearing, censorship resistant internet money, mobile 3.0, and pre-market perps. So you'll be able to trade coins before they're officially listed. And some other things like improvements on liquidity, infrastructure, privacy, and more later this year. Now, to take a look at some platform stats, this will help us understand, are they growing, are people using this, and do they like the product? So we have been seeing a lot of growth over the past few months. You can see the perp volume has been increasing, and we are increasing again, especially in a bull market. A lot of people are speculating more. So we can see, as for active users in the last 30 days, 7,000 people, which is pretty good. That means not a lot of competition for an airdrop if you are going to use Paradex. Now we'll get into how to use it and things you can do a little later in this video, but we should also understand, what is Paradex? Now, Paradex is the decentralized platform of Paradigm, institutional grade liquidity for crypto derivatives, and they do a lot of volume, close to $1 trillion of cumulative lifetime volume. The average daily volume is over $1.7 billion, with over 20 dealers and a network of over 1,000 counterparties. So essentially, Paradigm is a platform for institutions that want to have access to these crypto derivatives, and Paradex is the decentralized exchange side of things. Now, the Paradigm blog says in April they did $26 billion of trading volume on their centralized platform, Paradigm. And in July, they posted they hit a new all-time high for Paradigm, $40 billion in monthly volume, and this was at the end of the month on July 27. So it was probably a little bit higher than that. And we can see that the volume traded over time has been steadily increasing. So there is a demand from institutional investors that want access to these crypto products. And Paradex is what they're going to provide on the decentralized side that maybe some of those institutions want access to. So they already have those relationships and they have the volume. So if you're going to get started with Paradex, we're speculating that this could be a very good platform and that the airdrop can cook. But, as for the platform, I think you'll like it already. How to get started trading on Paradex. So first, we're going to need to connect our wallet. And of course, if you are in DeFi, you are likely already using MetaMask, Rabby Wallet, or Coinbase Wallet. For myself, I use Rabby Wallet and the Chrome extension, so that makes it easy to use. So I'm connecting my wallet. Since this is a decentralized platform, we're going to need assets on chain. So you can deposit assets from Ethereum, Arbitrum, Avalanche, and much more. You just scroll down and you can see that they have quite a large selection. So you don't have to do any of the bridging, that is done for you. So I have some USDC ready to go on Arbitrum. You can see that you can only select USDC regardless of what chain that is. So as long as you have USDC on a blockchain, and it's one of the supported ones here, you can get started on Paradex immediately. So we're going to deposit some USDC on Arbitrum. We're going to deposit 2,000 USDC. We can see that the bridge is automatically selected to Hyperlane, but you also have Layer Swap, RhinoFi, and Orbiter Finance. And we can see what kind of fee that we're going to get for this, and that's very low. So we're going to continue with this deposit. We're going to sign the transaction, confirm it, and then it's processing, and we'll just sign it again. We gotta wait, and let's see how fast we get those funds. So I'm gonna continue talking. We say I have 31 cents in the account, but we're gonna wait till this is fully loaded. I'm just gonna keep talking and saying things because we're really just waiting on a few things. Arbitrum to connect to Hyperlane, and there it is. So in just a few seconds, we got our assets minus the fees. So that is how you deposit to Paradex. And if you wanted to withdraw, that's easy too. You just go into your portfolio, select the withdraw button there, and then withdraw your assets to your connected wallet. And you can select which blockchain you want, and you will be receiving USDC. So with Ethereum, you see here, Paradex bridge withdrawals can take between 4 to 8 hours to complete. Use other bridges from the list to withdraw much faster. So if you're using the official safe Paradex bridge, that you can absolutely trust, it's going to be a little slow. But if you use something else like Hyperlane and one of the other third-party ones that aren't affiliated with Paradex but are trusted partners, it's going to be a lot faster. And we can withdraw to any one of the different blockchains that you see here, and it will be in USDC. The destination address will be automatically populated with your connected wallet, so you don't even have to type it in. But if you want to withdraw it somewhere else, you can. You just type in that address. How to trade on Paradex. So we're here at pretty much the home page. Our wallet is connected. We have funds in our account, and we start up in the top left corner with this little arrow. And we have either futures or options, and in the near future we're going to have spot trading. So you can see in options you can have call options, puts in Hyperliquid, Solana, Ethereum, or Bitcoin. And you can see the different volume, open interest, funding fees, and then if we go to futures, we have our list of coins that we can invest in long or short, and the amount of leverage that is available. So we have up to 50x leverage with large market cap coins like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, 20x for smaller market cap coins, and 5x for the slightly more obscure coins. So they are consistently adding new coins to their list, and I'd follow them on social media to find out what they're adding next. So for example, let's make a trade with Bitcoin. Starting at the top right, you can see the leverage that is set. By default, I think it starts at 50x, so you might want to bring that down. You might want to bring that down to something a little more reasonable depending on your risk tolerance. So for example, let's go with 5x. You can see that it is set to cross, or we can set it to isolated. With cross, it uses your available balance to offset the different leveraged positions. With isolated, you can only lose the amount that you invest to that position. So again, with cross, you can lose everything in your account if the trade does not go your way and you're using too much leverage. Do not make that mistake. With isolated, you can only lose the amount that is available for that trade. So if you put $500 into an isolated trade, you can lose $500. If you are doing cross margin, you have $1,000 in your account, you have a $100 position, you can still lose $1,000. Now cross just gives you more opportunity to use leverage among different positions, and that's what we see in the vaults. That's going to have cross margin, while in regular trading you can have cross or isolated. Then we have market order limit or pro, where you can have stop market, stop limit, scaled orders. Now, if you want to keep it simple, market orders are pretty good just because, let's say you're investing just a couple $1,000 with the liquidity in the Bitcoin markets. You could do that very easily. So you can see the size here, the order books, and with a few $1,000s with this much leverage, we're not going to get a bad trade here. But if you want to set a limit order, you can. That's very easy. And just by selecting anything in the order book, that's going to update the price here. So let's say we are doing a market order, our leverage, we're going to set that to 7x, and we want to buy some Bitcoin perps. So I'm going to buy this at the current price of 119,252, 25%, 7x leverage, isolated position. I hit confirm buy, transferring margin to isolated position. It's processing. We'll give that a second there. It's filled. So our market buy order filled. It's been submitted. We see our position here. We have our long position, 7x ISO, isolated position, the order size, market value, and the amount of margin we added. So we added 467 USDC to this position. And this is something that we can always check in our position section here or in our portfolio. So if we go to portfolio, scroll down, we're going to see our spot balance. And if we hit derivatives, we can see our futures position there. And by selecting that, it brings us back to the trading page, and we can add some other features too, like a take profit or stop loss. So that's what it means here. And if we want to close all our positions, there's a button for that. We can set a limit order for us to close the position, and we can also do a market order which just closes it immediately. So let's say we want to add a take profit. That's very easy to do. We can do market or limit order. Let's do a market order, and we could do something like 40%. This is a little generous, 40% up or 40% down, where it's like, all right, I only want to make 40% or I want to lose 40%, and that's the risk I'll be taking in this position. You can hit confirm, and by doing that, it generates two open orders here. So you can see that you have your take profit order that has the sell position at a higher price of 125 and your stop loss at 112. So if you want to change it, you can do that, but you would just have to cancel the existing order by hitting this trash can icon. It will delete it. So instantly deleted, that order is gone. Or if you have a lot that you just want to get rid of, you hit cancel all here. So that is pretty much how you set up these different positions, and you can do the same with any other cryptocurrency that is available in their markets. So let's say, for example, we want to set up a trade with Pengu, and this time we'll do a cross position and we will do a market order. Let's do a 25% of what we have, which is about 350 USDC. We're going to hit confirm buy, and it filled. So when you have these market orders, when you have cross margin, these orders are instant. So this is a very fast exchange. It's a really good experience, and we can set up our portfolio in different positions very quickly. So let's try this with Hype as well. Let's say we want to do 4x leverage. We'll set up our position there. We'll buy 50% of what we got here, and I'll just hit confirm buy, and it's filled. So Paradex is a very fast decentralized perps exchange, so you get the best experience. Now, if we want to close any of these, again, we would just set a limit order, market order, take profit, or stop loss. Now, I am zoomed in here, so you're only seeing a small portion of it, but ideally, you'd be zoomed out so you can see everything else at a glance. And if we want to close our position, again, close all, or you just do a market order, you just hit market. And it's going to show how much you want to close, either a portion of the position. You can set 10, 25, 50, 100, and just by selecting that amount, hitting close long, filled instantly. So that does set up a market order, and you can close those positions very, very quickly. Now with Paradex, you also get perpetual options, which is a novel new crypto derivative instrument that combines the risk-reward profile of options, protected downside with unlimited upside, with the simplicity of perpetual futures. So think of it like a futures market for options. So you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Hype, and you have either call or put. So at the top right here, if we think the price is going to drop down, we can invest in puts. If we think the price is going to go up, we invest in calls. And then we also have strike grid, so we can see how the pricing is set for the bids and asks for the different strike prices. So right now we are in Hype. Let's go to something more familiar. Let's say we're in Bitcoin, and we can see those prices here. So I'm bullish on crypto. Let's play around with the options, and let's say we want to invest in something. The current price of Bitcoin is about 119,000. It is headed up to 122,000, I believe so, and this would give us a 34x leverage position. So let's say we want to invest in this, and it says the bid price of 753, ask price of 790. So there is a spread there where maybe we'll be overpaying for something and we'll take a loss if we sell immediately, but if it goes up, it could be pretty valuable. So let's take a little more risk, and let's say it's going to 124,000 and we want to buy some options here, and let's say we want to buy at the market order. We'll just do a small amount, and we can buy any amount, which is fantastic. So I'm going to buy 0.1 BTC worth of call options, and that is equivalent to $70. So if you want to change the price, you just switch between Bitcoin and USD so you know how much you're actually investing in with these different products. So I'm going to hit confirm buy, and the order has been filled. We can see our position here at the top, BTC USD 124,000. We're on the long side, and the current value of our position at $70 and the entry price at 442. So we can monitor this position and see how it goes. And again, if we just want to close it out, we would just do a market order, and we can close as much of the position as we want. And if we go to our portfolio and we scroll down, we can see our orders here. We have our option and we have our derivatives positions. And I made some money on an ETH call. So a couple days ago, I bought an ETH option saying that, oh, the price is going to go up. So that's indicated at the lower left here by that B. That is when I bought. And S indicates when I sold. It doesn't indicate everything I sold, but it indicates a sell. And these other lines here are additional sell orders I have for that position. So you can see at the bottom left here, we have a ETH USD 4600 call, the size of the option, the value, the entry price at $29, market price, and we're up close to 500% with the funding P&L 89%. So it's very expensive to keep these options open because you have to pay for the funding on it, which can get expensive. So I invested a little less than $300, and the unrealized funding is $226. So the lesson here is be aware of the funding, be aware of how long you want to keep these options open for, and monitor that funding, otherwise it gets expensive. But of course, with that expense comes great opportunity, because if you get these calls or puts right, they can be very profitable. The Paradex app. So they do have an app if you want to go full mobile. It's available in the App Store and Google Play Store. Unless you're in the US, it is a restricted app there, but if you have a Google Play account or iOS Store account that is outside the US or change those settings, then it becomes available. Portfolio. So at the top left here, we can check out our portfolio, our account value. Lower. We didn't lose that money though. I know we just invested 2,000 USDC into this platform, but where is it? Now we can see that our wallet spot balance, we have 1525. We try to withdraw that. 664 USDC is available. And if we go into derivatives, we see that we have an isolated position here. Now, this is a limitation at the moment on Paradex, where if you have an isolated position, it pretty much puts it in a separate sub-account. So if we look at ISO here, our isolated Bitcoin position, and at the far right, we have $458 there. So let's close that position. We're going to do a market close, and then we'll go back into our portfolio. Now it is going to take a moment to update because it's moving it from your isolated account back into your full cross margin account. And in just a moment, our portfolio funds are back. We did lose a little bit of money due to picking bad investments very quickly. So if we want to have a little bit better control over our isolated positions, we can create sub accounts. So if we go to the top right and select our username and then select switch wallet, we can add a sub account at the bottom here. So we want to hit add account. That creates a sub account for us. So we can click that and we can deposit into it. And then these funds will help track our isolated positions a little bit better. So if we want to fund our sub accounts, we go back to our portfolio and then we select transfer here. And if you're in the wrong section, maybe you're in your sub account, you won't see those transfer options. You hit the drop down and you go back to your main account here. And then we want to transfer funds. So we select transfer, transfer money from our main account, transfer to, and you can see it'd be our isolated position that we had earlier because it created a sub account for us, or sub account 2, which we just created. So let's move 500 USDC there. We transfer that over and it should be available in just a moment. Transfer successful. So now we just can close this. We hit the drop down, we go to sub account 2, we see our account value, 500 USDC at the bottom, and now we can start investing in other things from this sub account or from our main account. So at the top right, you see our sub account is selected and that our free collateral is $500. And if we wanted to switch back to our main account, it's just as easy as clicking our main account and then our free collateral changes as well. So by having these multiple accounts, you have better control over the margin you're using. Maybe you just want to track your long positions, your short positions, and it just gives you a lot more flexibility than having to trade everything from just one account. Now, one of the best products on Paradex, I think, is their vaults. Now, vaults are smart contracts based on asset pools in the DeFi ecosystem where investors deposit collateral, USDC, and receive vault tokens representing their share. So you'd be able to invest in different trading strategies, pretty much copy trading whatever is happening in that vault. You get full exposure to that. Now you can see that they have some protocol vaults like the Liquidator Vault, the Giga Vault, and they have consistently been making money at a 28% APR for the Liquidator Vault, 25% for Giga Vault, and then we have the Vault Traded Funds. These are different products that you can invest in. Let's say you want 3x exposure on different altcoins. You'd have all of these products in your portfolio 3x diversified for you. And you could do the same for other sectors too, like meme coins, altcoins, majors, and if you're bearish as well with altcoin bear markets, and these are 3x shorts. Now these strategies will change very quickly depending on market conditions. So maybe you want to be long-term, short-term. And you can create your own vaults too, but whenever you invest in a vault, you should understand what you're investing in, like the number of depositors to see, are people trusting this, profit share, what kind of cut are they taking? The Wagner Vault has a 20% profit share, so does the Crypto Omega Vault. You can also create your own vault and get other people involved as well, and that's easy. Let's make one. How to create a vault. Now, if you want to create a vault, you have to be in your main account. If you're in a sub account, you won't be able to, as you can see here. So we'll just switch back to our main account. We'll hit that. And now we can create a vault. Let's say the full value vault, where you get some full value. All right, so maximum TVL, profit share, lockup period. So if you want to deposit funds, that's what the lockup period means. Your funds will be locked in there for at least 1 day before being able to withdraw. But if it's there for 1 day at least, then you can withdraw it immediately. So that is the minimum lockup time. So just because they're buying things, they don't want you to buy and sell so quickly. And this can be set up to 4 days. I think it really doesn't matter too much. These people that make vaults would earn more the longer it's locked up, but 1 day is really fine and 10% profit share. So I'm gonna give you guys a little more value, 5% profit share, because we don't know what's in this vault as of yet, but I think I'm gonna be working on a video where you'll see some things very soon on some different funds I'm testing. So now that we've created the vault, we're going to switch our account, and now we have full value vault. So creating a vault is another account. So it's kind of like a sub account, but you're going to see vault right there. So we're going to select that. And now we can start choosing what's in our vault. Now that we made a vault, we need to fund our vault. So we're back in vaults. We're in our main account. We hit my vaults at the right here, and then we scroll down, user vaults. So we select the vault we made and we can deposit funds into it. So we can see that we just made it, some value, and we're going to deposit funds here. And we have 636 USDC available to move over. Let's deposit 500 USDC. And now we have some funds in our account to start investing. So we'll give this a moment and we should see that there's 500 USDC in this account. There it is, $500 deposit, 500 tokens. And now we want to switch our account over to the vault. So if we go into trade, we can see that we have 500 USDC available for trading. So it is all cross margin, and we can go long on Bitcoin, for example. Let's say we want a 10x and we want to put in 25% of our vault in there. We can do that. That sets up a long. Our position has been opened. Let's say we want to also go long on a meme coin. I like Pengu, so we're gonna pick them and we're gonna open up a position there. We're gonna keep this open to 5x and we open up that, confirm buy. Real easy, real smooth, fast experience, as you can see in real time. We'll pick another blockchain. Let's pick a layer 1 blockchain. I got to take off the Pengu filter there. We can scroll around. You guys know I like Sui. We're going to pick up Sui as well. We're also going to use 5x because it's all cross margin. We don't want too much volatility, and we'll pick up about 33%. So you can see how much that is. That's the leveraged amount you're purchasing. But as you scroll around, you can see the actual margin required at the lower right. $93 will get us this much SUI equivalent with that 5x margin. So I'm going to confirm that buy, and now we have 3 different assets in our vault. Again, this is an example, not financial advice. We go back to my vaults, we scroll down, hit the full value vault, it opens on spot, we go over to derivatives, and we see the different positions I have available. Now in a future video, I'm going to create a more advanced vault so we can invest in things in a more interesting way. So this is just an example that I'm setting up now, and you can see that our vault is running. Yeah, we have assets here, and it's using that 500 USDC that we deposited to invest in these different products. And since it's a vault, other people can invest in it as well. So this is how you set up a vault on Paradex, and you can earn from it as well from getting people to invest in what you're investing in. The Paradex airdrop, right now they're in their season 2 of their points campaign, and this is a new account that I set up, rank 23,000. So that means there's around 23,000 users. We don't know how many points they've earned, and potentially you're still early. Now, a good airdrop comes with a good product that generates revenue, which is what we're seeing with Paradex. So this can create different opportunities, which is why I'm farming Paradex. I'm an affiliate for Paradex, just so I can potentially get that airdrop, and I want to provide you value too. So if you want to get started with Paradex, please use my referral. That would help me out. And if you want more insights on crypto, feel free to subscribe and like this video and join the community. So with that, I hope you got your full value for today.